The hot start to the football season continues. We are 11-2 with best bets. Remember, we're making those bets on the show and on social media, so you want to be sure to follow me on Twitter at Alex_Glaze. Those Glaze guarantees 3-0. When it's all said and done, we are up just over 26 units, so a strong start to the season. This is Bet That. I'm Alex Glaze. Remember, this is not for any kind of advice purposes. This is just education and entertainment, okay? All right, now it's week 1 of the NFL season. Falcons starting things off in Minnesota against the Vikings. They're getting 4 points, but the story going into this game isn't the game. It's all about Julio Jones and if he is going to be playing on Sunday. Julio does not have a new deal. He wouldn't commit to actually saying he's going to play on Sunday without that new deal in place. And he's listed on the injury report, not for an injury, for rest. So what's going on with the Falcons? What's going on with Julio Jones?
What I'm trying to do right now is be ready. You know what I mean? Like, it's no, like, if I'm going to play, if I'm not going to play. Like, you know, I'm trying to be out there, like, regardless. You know, I'm coming back from injury, things like that. But the ultimate thing is just being ready when my number's called.
Sounds like trouble's brewing. And under Dan Quinn, the Falcons are 2-2 in season openers. Those 2 wins coming in 2015 and 2017 against 2 teams that didn't make the playoffs. Now, Vegas thinks that the Vikings can be pretty good. Their win total set at 9. So who knows what this Falcons team is going to be able to do against a good Vikings team, possibly without Julio Jones. All right, let's talk some college football, and I want to start with our local teams here. We got Georgia Tech giving up 6.5 points against South Florida. Now, this is going to be the homecoming for Jeff Collins, his first home game on the flats, and I think that Tech is going to have no problem covering that 6.5. I think that we saw good things from Tech when they were playing Clemson, and that defense, if we know one thing about them, it's that their defense is solid and that they're going to run the ball. Something South Florida struggled with against Wisconsin, stopping the run, and they couldn't stop Wisconsin. So I think that Georgia Tech is going to be able to give Jeff Collins his first win as Georgia Tech's head coach. All right, the next game, Georgia giving up 48.5 points to Murray State. That is a huge number. Now, I don't think Georgia is going to struggle at all with Murray State, obviously, but 48.5 is just a crazy number, especially when you think about what Georgia likes to do. They like to run the ball, and they like to play defense. So I think that Kirby's going to keep it vanilla. I think that he is going to not show anything like he did last week against Vanderbilt, and I think they're just going to try to get out of this game injury-free. That 48.5, that number scares me, so I'm probably gonna stay away from that one, or go with Murray State. I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but take the points if you're gonna bet that game. All right, I know I lost my O last week, but best bet's still doing pretty good. 11-2 to start off this season, so we're doing all right. Let's start things off with Ohio State and Cincinnati. Now, I think that this game is gonna be a tough one for Ohio State. Now, they didn't cover the number against Florida Atlantic last week, but this is an in-state game. Ohio State has won 41 consecutive in-state games. That number, 16. It's a big one, but it doesn't scare me. I think that Ryan Day is going to have something to show these other in-state recruits that Ohio State is the place you want to be if you are going to high school in Ohio and you want to play college football in Ohio. So I think that Ryan Day and Ohio State can cover that number. Next one, we got Texas A&M taking on Clemson. Now, these are 2 really good teams. And that number right there would lead you to believe that Texas A&M is not a very good team. So I think that is crazy. That's a huge number. So I'm rolling with Texas A&M and the 17 points. And we switch gears to the NFL. We got the Raiders, who are an absolute dumpster fire right now, getting 2.5 points against the Broncos. Now, that line completely flipped. It opened up. The Raiders were actually 2.5-point favorites. So that thing has flipped and has gone with the Broncos, and I'm rolling with the Broncos and giving up the 2.5 points. And then finally, we got the Chiefs and Jaguars. Chiefs giving up 3.5 points. I'm rolling with Pat Mahomes and the Jaguars, and the Chiefs, excuse me. I have no idea what the Jaguars are going to be able to do. And let's close this thing out with my Glaze guarantee, which Glaze guarantee is 3-0. So when I say it, good things happen. And I'm rolling with Tech this week, giving up 6.5 points to South Florida. I think that Tech, their defense really showed me something against Clemson. I know that when you look at the box score, it might not look that way, but I really like Tech's defense, and I like their ability to run the ball. So I think that they're going to be able to do good things against South Florida and give Jeff Collins his first win.